Great guys.
Yeah, look to other news now, and the fallout from the botched airbag recall has continued today. It's a mess, but whose fault is it? Should the government have done more? And what can you do if you're driving a ticking time bomb?
Last night, the ACCC's website crashed. Today, a class action's been launched, and it's no wonder. The numbers are damning. 2.3 million cars with faulty airbags recalled across 60 models. First recalled 8 years ago, 2/3 are still on Aussie roads, and some recalled cars have been fitted with potentially faulty replacements. It's a fiasco, but who's to blame? Is it the car manufacturers? Consumer groups say they haven't done enough, but it is a voluntary recall. Also, many of the older, higher-risk models have changed hands several times in the last 20 years, making the owners hard to find.
Their hands are tied, unfortunately, because they're all coming from the one supplier. They're literally doing everything in batches, so some will receive 60,000 airbags, whereas others will be waiting for airbags, and in turn customers have to wait until those airbags are ready.
So what about the government? Well, it took this month's fatal incident for the federal government to ask manufacturers for updates 8 years into the recall. And while it has the power to issue a mandatory recall, so far it hasn't.
The US has taken a lot of action against Takata, and they've been successful with settlements and assistance for customers, especially with loan vehicles. So it'd be good to see the government getting on the front foot here.
What about the airbag manufacturer? Definitely. Takata systematically concealed safety issues for more than a decade before the recall. Even worse, the scandals bankrupted them, leading to shortages. But blame alone won't fix this fiasco. So, who will?
Well, Paul Fletcher is the Minister for Urban Infrastructure and he joins us now. Minister, the government could issue a mandatory recall. Why haven't you?
There's a voluntary recall underway at the moment, carried out by the manufacturers who have responsibility for the 14 brands that are affected, over 2 million vehicles. The government is seeking answers from the manufacturers as to the progress of that voluntary recall. We've asked for that by early next week, and we'll make an assessment of whether we think the recall is proceeding with sufficient urgency, and also whether there's the right prioritisation of the highest risk categories of vehicle.
So rather than just waiting for the process to play out, what can our audience do if they think they might be affected?
So the important thing for Australians to be aware of is, first of all, if you have received a letter from a car maker telling you to take your vehicle into the dealer, please do that straight away. Secondly, if you are concerned about whether yours is one of the makes or models, what you should do is go to product safety, one word, productsafety.gov.au. And thirdly, what we want people to do is when you go to your dealer, what they are required to do is rectify the faulty airbag.
Minister, that's all well and good, but your role in government is to provide what is best for your electorate. And currently we have over 1 million cars out there with faulty airbags. Someone has died, someone's been seriously injured. Surely it is in the best interest of the public to issue a mandatory recall and get this problem fixed and get it fixed soon.
That is why the government, I have, together with my fellow Minister Michael McCormack, written yesterday to the manufacturers seeking urgent updates on the voluntary recall program.
But Minister, and it's obviously not working sufficiently, because we've heard from people today who are saying that their cars can't be fixed until 2020. So that's just not good enough. Surely we'd actually need more firm action here, actually to act on this right here and right now.
So what the government is asking people to do is, when you take your vehicle to the dealer, if you are being told that there's going to be a delay, we're asking you to call the ACCC Info Centre on 1300 302 502, 1300 302 502. Minister McCormack, on advice from the ACCC, would have the power to issue a mandatory recall if we determine that we are not satisfied with the program that is presently underway.
Well, Minister, there are certainly a lot of worried motorists out there tonight, and hopefully we can get some action for them soon. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Brownie, you are getting very comfortable in that chair, aren't you?
I'm passionate about cars.
Putting the minister in the hot seat. That's what you call giving somebody the snip.
Yeah.
Is it?
In veterinary terms.
He's a vet. He's a vet.
Oh, I worked it out. I like it.
Okay. Some of the car manufacturers involved have sent us statements. You can see them on the website. If you do want to see if your car's affected, or if you want to contact the ACCC hotline, those details are there as well.
Moving